All right, so buckle up, everyone, because today we are diving deep into some, well, let's call it juicy political intrigue.
Sounds right up our alley.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
This all started with an article, just one article. It's in the Vanguard. That's a big Nigerian newspaper. And well, it hints at some major political shakeups that might be brewing.
Oh, I love shakeups. What kind of shakeups are we talking about here?
Well, the article suggests that a bunch of governors from the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, are thinking about, get this, switching sides.
Switching sides, huh? Who are they
Uh,
thinking of switching to?
the APC, the All Progressives Congress. And this could happen in just a few years, by 2027.
2027, that's not that far off.
Nope, not at all. Now, there's a twist, of course. The article doesn't actually name any specific governors.
So it's all a bit hush-hush based on these mysterious unnamed sources.
Exactly. So that's what makes this deep dive so interesting. What we're going to do today is try to figure out what might be motivating these potential defections.
Okay, I'm game. Let's dive in.
So first things first, for anyone who might not be totally up to date on Nigerian politics, can you give us a quick rundown of the scene there?
Absolutely. So you've got two major political parties in Nigeria. The PDP, which is the People's Democratic Party, and the APC, which is the All Progressives Congress. They've both been the main players for a while now.
Okay, so that's the backdrop. Now back to this article. It hints at these PDP governors possibly jumping ship to the APC, but it doesn't give us any reasons why. What do you think could be going on behind the scenes?
Well, there are a few possibilities.
They'll am on me.
One thing to consider is that, in politics, it's all about power, right? So maybe these governors are looking for more influence, more opportunities within the APC.
So a power play, essentially. That makes sense.
It's certainly a possibility. Another thing to think about is, are there any policy disagreements going on within the PDP?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Maybe these governors are just not happy with the direction the PDP is headed, or maybe they feel like their voices aren't being heard.
Right, and that could be pushing them away. So we've got the power play angle, we've got the policy disagreement angle. Anything else?
Well, we can't forget about the 2027 elections. They're coming up, and this whole defection thing could be a strategic move.
Ah, you're thinking they might be positioning themselves for better spots within the APC? Maybe even trying to grab some key roles in the upcoming elections?
Exactly. It's all about playing the long game in politics.
It really is. But let's be real here. We're kind of speculating, right? I mean, we've got this one article. It doesn't name names. It doesn't give concrete reasons.
That's true. We're working with limited information here, but
Yeah.
that's part of what makes it so intriguing.
Totally. So for everyone listening, what do you make of all of this? Do you buy the power play theory, the policy disagreement theory, or maybe something else entirely?
It's really a puzzle, isn't it?
A political puzzle. And we know you listeners love a good puzzle. So we want to hear your theories.
Jump into the comments and let us know what you think is really going on here.
Now, there's another layer to this whole thing that we haven't touched on yet. Let's say these PDP governors do defect to the APC. How do you think that would shake things up within the APC itself?
That's a great question. It could go a few different ways.
Right. I mean, on the one hand, the APC might welcome them with open arms, more support, more power, especially with the elections coming up.
Yeah, strength in numbers, right?
Totally. But on the other hand, it could also create some serious friction. I mean, these incoming governors would have their own viewpoints, their own agendas.
Absolutely. And they'd be coming from a different party with a different history, a different way of doing things. It could definitely lead to some clashes, maybe even power struggles within the APC.
So it's not just about the PDP governors and their motivations. It's also about how the APC would handle this influx of new members.
Precisely. It's like adding a bunch of new ingredients to a recipe. You never know quite how it's going to turn out.
A political recipe, that is. And speaking of recipes, I think this whole situation has given us a lot to chew on.
Definitely. It'll be interesting to see how things develop over the next few years.
Exactly. Will these governors actually defect? What impact will it have on both parties? And what does it all mean for the future of Nigerian politics?
Only time will tell.
But one thing's for sure, this is a story worth keeping an eye on. And for you listening, remember, this whole thing started with a single article relying on unnamed sources. It's a reminder that in the world of politics, you can't always take everything at face value.
Absolutely. Always question your sources, look for multiple perspectives, and don't be afraid to dig a little deeper.
Because sometimes the most interesting stories are the ones that are just below the surface. And as always, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.